We've had a number of people from Cape Breton through here. I don't think any of them sound quite like you. What? You're a little harder than, a little less traditional than the average Cape Bretoner, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
So how did that happen?
Well, it happened, I grew up in a rural community, well, in the boonies, really, of Cape Breton, in an area called...
Is there anything but boonies?
Well, not really. Well, this place was serious boonies, called Christmas Island. And if it was depending on the weather, what my day would consist of. If it was sunny out, I was in the woods or on the beach, and if it was raining, I was sitting in front of my dad's record collection or his 8-tracks and just, you know, totally obsessed from a very early age. I remember locking myself in his Chevy, listening to the Doors when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Like, I don't think they knew what I was listening to in the car.
They would probably have objected a little bit.
Yeah, but it just started at an early age. I just gravitated toward classic rock, and here I am today.
You know, when I listen to your record, I hear, how would I describe this? A young Bonnie Raitt infused by Neil Young.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. No one's ever said that comparison before.
I think that's pretty apt. I mean, and the red hair is a bit of a coincidence.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually was able to record on a tribute album for Neil Young, a female tribute album out of the States called Cinnamon Girl. So that was a big deal for me. I'm a huge Neil Young fan, mega Neil Young fan.
What's your best Neil Young song?
Oh, I love After the Gold Rush, and I love Downtown, and I love them all so much.
Which one do you play?
Oh, we covered Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere.
Was that your choice, or did?
It was my choice, yeah. Just coming from where we are from, and it's kind of, you know, off the map, I guess, but it just kind of resonated with the band too, so that's one that we liked. Yeah.
Now, again, we go back to the Cape Breton thing, the traditional nature of Cape Breton, and this is not a slam or anything, but there's a woman out front in a rock band that really gets loud. Again, you don't see that sort of stuff. No. How did this group come together? I've
been playing since I was about 14, 15 in bands my whole life, and my travels landed me in Toronto, and I lived in Toronto from 99 to 2004, and at the end of that I was like, I really have to do my own thing. I want a rock band. I have to go back to Cape Breton and find my rock band. And that was on my mind all day, every day. And so I finally went back to Cape Breton to start over. And it's funny because people don't usually go to Cape Breton to start their rock and roll career. They come to Toronto. So I went back and I found a drummer and a bass player. Actually, the drummer is not with us anymore. Here's an interesting story for you. Well, I'm pointing over there, but nobody can see. My drummer actually decided he was going to leave a couple weeks ago to get a full-time job, and that's fine, totally cool. But the day we were leaving for this tour, he broke his hand, and this gentleman stepped in on Saturday and saved our entire tour, and it's just been awesome. So, yeah, so that's what happened. That's kind of a very short history of us, but I just moved to Cape Breton, and I found a band, and I just started doing it, and I knew I wanted a rock song.
How did you get Gordon Gonneau, the Violent Femmes, to produce this record?
Warren Brule is his business partner, and he's a producer. He's actually from Dominion, from Cape Breton, but he's been in New York for over 30 years working with Lou Reed and Frank Black, PJ Harvey.
Wow, that's a hell of a jump from Cape Breton to that.
And, yeah, he worked really hard for a lot of years to get to that level. And him and Gord worked together on the first, I forget the name of the record, the Violent Femmes with Blister in the Sun. And
oh, that's their
debut
record.
Yeah. And so he walked into Sound Park Studios in Cape Breton one day when I was doing demos, and
who, Gord did?
No, I'm sorry, Warren did.
Warren did.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, what? But and he said, who is this person? So my manager was, it's Carmen, and about a week later the phone rang. It was Gord Gonneau calling me, and I kind of had a little freak out on the phone because I used to cover his songs in high school, like American Music and Blister in the Sun, and so I went to New York for a couple of days, and we hung out in his living room, and he was super cool, and we just, we worked really well together. And
what did he bring to your songwriting and your performances?
Well, he actually helped with arrangements, like, because we're so used to being a live band, and the thought of having the songs chopped up really scared me so much, you know. But he was great. He was great to have around for advice and for his experience. And
well, he would know about about three-piece bands.
Yeah, for sure.
Really sparse arrangements, taking them apart and then putting together. I mean, you listen to a song like, you know, Gone Daddy Gone, or any of those songs from that first, any Violent Femmes album. I mean, there's not a lot of players on those records, but the records sound huge.
Yeah. So it was a thrill. He was so cool. So hopefully we'll get to see him again if we go back to New York, which will hopefully be soon. But it was great. Lots of crazy coincidences happening around this record. So it's nice to have it finally out.
Oh, good. Yeah. So now you're on a tour, and well, I guess that's pretty much the rest of the year, huh?
Yeah, we're finishing up this tour at the end of June, and then I do a couple of acoustic performances in Sam Rogers Folk Festival, and we do the Evolve Festival and a bunch of festivals on the East Coast, and then I think we're back to Australia in October, and then we're heading back to the UK in February, so it'll be busy bee.
The album surprised me because, again, you see, you know, female singer from Cape Breton. You expect somebody to play either the accordion or an acoustic guitar. But this album really rocks in that Neil Young, Bonnie Raitt, angry Bonnie Raitt kind of way.
I'm not that angry.
Well, she's not that angry.
Yeah, she's not that angry either, yeah.
And it's, you know, we have a local band here called the Coppertone.
Oh, yeah.
Three-piece rock and roll band led by a woman with red hair.
Yeah.
And, you know, these two bands, you have to watch them very carefully.
Yeah, Derek's a friend of mine. I think he still plays drums at the Coppertone, Derek Downham. So he actually mentioned them to me, and I was like, yeah, that's totally rad. So it's great. It's super awesome to see that.
Well, it was good to meet you.
You too.
Thank you for coming in and playing.
No problem.
And we'll talk soon, I hope.
Awesome, thanks.
Explore Music wears English Laundry apparel.